Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would share with you some fragrances from my collection that I think smell phenomenal on a man. So these are fragrances that I would love to smell on a guy. Unfortunately, my husband doesn't wear fragrance. But I've got some really excellent fragrances, some higher end, some very affordable. I can't wait to share them with you. If you're a girl that's watching this video, these are gorgeous fragrances on a guy. They'd make great Christmas presents. And for the most part, I think they're quite mass appealing. So I can't wait to share them with you. Before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and let's get into this. So I'm going to start with an affordable one. This one, although I consider it unisex, for a lot of people, they find it quite masculine, and it is Eternal Oud by Lattafa. Now, this fragrance is supposed to be similar to Grand Soir by MFK. So you're getting a really rich, opulent, smelling amber fragrance, and it is exceptionally sexy, especially on a guy. To me, this is the kind of vanillic fragrance that I want to smell on a man. The base notes are what really come out in this, which is some amber, vanilla, tonka. There's some oud in here. So you get that woodiness, but it's really tempered beautifully with some of that vanillic, ambery vibe. So I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. This has some plum in it. There's some grapefruit in the opening. I don't really get that. There's a little bit of floral in here, but really what comes out is like a resinous vanilla. Ooh, it's so gorgeous. So if you're an amber fan in general, this likely would work for you, but especially as a guy, this is uber sexy. This is the kind of fragrance that a girl's gonna really enjoy smelling when you guys are cuddling, watching a show on TV. This is warm, it's sensual, it's sweet, it's sexy. Love it. Now, my son is a huge fan of wearing Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but I wanted to give the guys a little bit of a different take on cherry that I think is a little bit more masculine, and that is Close Up by Olfactive Studios. Just so you know, everything will be linked down below as well. But this is the sexiest of all cherry fragrances, in my opinion. So this fragrance still has that dark, deep, slightly boozy cherry. What sets this apart is that it's got some spices and some coffee in there. So it makes it a little bit darker, a little bit deeper. It has white tobacco flower and rose. I definitely get the rose. I get a little bit of that humid tobacco feel in this fragrance. And that's what makes it feel a little bit more masculine than Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, which is, you know, unisex. So these fragrances are unisex, but leaning slightly masculine. That's what I'd say this one is. Like, seriously, it's so amazingly good. It's still got that tonka and that amber in the base, but you're getting a woody tobacco cherry with some coffee and spices. This thing's decent longevity as well. It's very sexy. It's sexy, it's sensual, but it's not so like, to me, the Tom Ford Lost Cherry is a little bit in your face. So it's got that boozy cherry vibe, which is almost a little too much for daily wear. This one, the cherry is definitely there, but this one is a little bit more mellow smelling. So it's not like, bam, here I am. This one's a little bit more seductive and sensual, but it's not too much to me that you couldn't wear this fragrance during the day. And guaranteed, if a girl smells this on you, there's a hint of an animalic vibe in here too. So it's quite sexy. Really enjoy this fragrance. Girls, if you're wanting to get an uber sexy cherry fragrance for your guy for Christmas, this is the one. Like, seriously, so good. Now, these are all fragrances that I wear, so they're not so masculine that a woman can't wear them, but oh my goodness, this is good. I've got two Sora Doras that are my favorite picks. There's quite a few Sora Doras that are honestly amazing for guys. So there's Gladiator. It's got kind of some pineapple in it. It's kind of fresh. It's gorgeous, definitely masculine. There's Grisque, which is a little bit of a mint vibe in it. It's kind of masculine. I love it, but you gotta like mint. But these two are my favorite picks from Sora Dora that I happen to own. One is red and the other one is Broceliande. They both have a similar vibe as far as smelling a little bit a little bit caramel, a little bit boozy. The Broceliande has lime, which makes it a little bit fresher and very delicious. The red, that's become my son's favorite. This one's a little bit more sensual. There's a little bit of a suede vibe in here, so it makes it a little bit, just a hint more masculine, I'd say, than Broceliande. With red, there's a lot of spicy notes in here. So you're getting some cardamom, there's nutmeg, clove, there's some hazelnuts in here, a little bit of fig. There's caramel, there's sandalwood in here. There's some coconut, which I don't really get, but my husband noticed the coconut. There's some tropical florals in here. So it's definitely a complex fragrance, but what I get is a sensual wooded caramel with some spicy notes like the cardamom and nutmeg, clove. So spicy, warm, slightly sweet, very sensual. Sable Gris by Experimental Perfume Club. This is another fragrance that's woody. It's got some spiciness in it. So it's got some turmeric. There's some cardamom, cinnamon, tobacco, leather. I would say this one is another one that leans quite masculine. I love it on myself, but it's definitely like a very sensual, very elegant, very sophisticated fragrance. This is another fragrance that on Fragrantica, lots of people found it unisex, leaning masculine. I would have to say that I agree. I just think that this is such a gorgeous fragrance. I've actually used a ton of it. Very elegant and sophisticated. This is a fragrance that I think would be perfect for the office, for going out for a fancy evening. It's very smooth. It's rich, but it's not overtly sexy. It smells more classy to me than anything, so I love this one. Actually, I love all of these. Another spicier kind of incense fragrance that I think is gorgeous on a man is a Botafumero by Carner Barcelona. This opens with a beautiful nutmeg and pink pepper. There's a tiny bit of bergamot in this, but I don't notice that. I get the patchouli. There's a little bit of floral. Again, I don't notice that. And then there's incense, styrax, and musk. I definitely get that balsamic, incensey, like nutmeg vibe. I think it's gorgeous. Certainly is a patchouli heavy fragrance, but it's so warm and sensual, but not overly so. So again, this is a fragrance that I think would be amazing for the office. It's not going to bowl anyone over. It's just understated, elegant, classy. It's got moderate projection and excellent longevity, in my opinion. So this is a beautiful kind of easy reach fragrance for during the day, in my opinion. The next fragrance I have for you is, if you're a rose lover, and it is Identity Oud Crescent by Amir. This is a very affordable fragrance, like it's around $40. The bottle to me is so gorgeous, and the fragrance is so sexy and delicious. So this opens with saffron, raspberry, and lychee. What I definitely get is the saffron and the raspberry. The raspberry definitely comes out, and it's kind of a colder raspberry. It doesn't smell candy-esque. It smells just like raspberry. In the heart of this fragrance is rose olibanum, red berries, red currant, and violet. And then the base is oud, leather, patchouli, amber, and sandalwood. Now, what I get is I get the raspberry, I get leather, I get oud, and a hint of that violet. This is very, very smooth and rich feeling. Like seriously, I love this fragrance. I love wearing it on myself, but it is quite masculine. So this one would be one of the most masculine ones, even though it's rose. So this is a fragrance to me that you would wear to a special occasion. If you've got some fancy Christmas party that you're going to, this would be an amazing fragrance to wear. This one is definitely like, you've got to be careful with this one because it could wear you. It's so potent and powerful, and with that rose, it's not everybody's taste. I just think it's gorgeous. Very opulent, very classy, sophisticated, very, very bougie smelling. Love it. The next fragrance that I think smells amazing on a guy is Absolutio by Navitas. This one has saffron, cinnamon, and almond in the opening. It almost gives me a little bit of a Xerjoff Italica vibe in the opening. This has toffee and apple in the heart, and then the base has driftwood, ambergris, caramel, musk, oak moss, and chocolate. I definitely get the saffron in it, and it reminds me a little bit of a cross. It smells to me like a Christmas version of Baccarat Rouge 540 X Straight. So the almond, the cinnamon, the toffee all gives it this slightly spicy yet creamy fragrance. The apple keeps it a little bit fresh, and then you definitely have some woodiness in the base. I think that this is a beautiful fragrance. To me, this would be a great fragrance for during the day for a guy. You could wear this really anytime. This one leans a little bit sweeter, definitely. So you've got to like a sweet fragrance, but it's paired beautifully with those woods. So I think this is a gorgeous fragrance if you're wanting something a little bit more easy to wear. It's a little bit airy. The almond comes through. There's a little bit of freshness from the apple, but then woodiness there, but it's still staying kind of airy. This one has amazing projection. So you have to go easy with this one if you're wearing it during the day to work, because otherwise it'd be overpowering. But I'm pretty sure if you're a guy and you had this on, you would just end up with a whole lineup of women just following you around wanting to sniff you all day because it's that good. I have two more fragrances for you. The first one is Suma Oriental by Unui Nomad. So this is a boozy cacao fragrance. So it smells like a chocolatey, boozy patchouli is basically what you're getting. The patchouli is slightly animalic feeling or earthy. A little bit, it's got an animalic vibe. So there's a little bit of a barnyard feel, I think. I think it's coming from that patchouli. There's gaiac wood in here, there's sandalwood, but definitely there's a little bit of an animalic quality to this that makes it extremely sexy. This is a super smooth composition. Definitely get that boozy vibe in here, but this one to me is uber sensual. So it's quite sweet in a way, but it's just that animalic kind of patchouli gaiac wood feel kind of just tempers everything. It's a very, very sensual fragrance, but this one is also quite sweet. So you have to like kind of that chocolatey. To me, cacao comes across as like a vanillic chocolate or almost a white chocolate, but not that sweet. But paired with the rum, it's quite intoxicating. Yeah, this one is sexy. This isn't one that I would wear to the office. This is one that I would wear out on an evening. This is another fragrance. It's great for kind of nuzzling and cuddling. Also very, very smooth and sophisticated. So going out for an evening, this one would be gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, so good. So good. The last fragrance that I want to talk about is by Alharamain, and it's called Détour Noir. Now this is supposed to be similar to Leighton by Parfums de Marly. I don't know what Leighton smells like. I don't know if I've ever smelled it actually. This is such a fresh, slightly green, slightly vanillic, sweet. It's just amazing. This is the most gorgeous fresh fragrance that I've ever smelled. It has apple in it. There's jasmine, there's lavender. You definitely get the little hint of lavender in there. There's violet, there's vanilla, bergamot, orange. So quite a lot of citrus in here with that apple. The apple is what comes out majorly. You get a hint of lavender, but it smells to me like some sort of boozy apple martini with a spritz of lavender in the essence of it. Now, as this dries down, it gets a little bit more vanillic and a little bit more woody. There's some cardamom in here. There's some sandalwood. This is super smooth. This is a great fragrance during the day, but it is so incredibly good that you could wear this in the evening. Like I can see this one out of all the fragrances that I've mentioned, and I think this one's about $30. Again, links down below, but this one I think is around $30, $40 max. This one out of all of them, I would say is the most versatile fragrance. You can wear this during the day. It smells fresh, so it doesn't smell like an overtly sexy fragrance. It smells clean, but there's this sexy element to it that's like, it's just fantastic. Like it's a fantastic fantastic fragrance. This one girls really seem to love. I love it. And it's sexy, but it's fresh, but it's not too fresh. So it doesn't smell like alpine air. And so often guys want to smell like the mountains. This is gonna make you smell like the mountains in the summer in the best possible way, but it's not one of those trying too hard fragrances. Now, you have to like apple and you have to like a little bit of sweetness in your fragrance. This is gorgeous. As it dries down, it gets a little bit more woody. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with this one. So all of these are amazing for different reasons. If you are a woman looking for a great fragrance for your guy, these are fragrances that your guy can wear, but you can also rock. So I love fragrances like that. They're all beautiful for different reasons. Let me know what you think of these fragrances. If you're a guy, I know I don't have many guys on my channel, but if you're a guy, weigh in and let me know what you think of these. Let everybody know whether they're worth getting or not. And if you've enjoyed wearing it, like if you find that it's a compliment getter, whatever, leave it in the comments. I would love to know. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.